I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Welcome to the 34 Motorsports Product Showcase. We're proud to offer the full line of Simpson Racing safety products. The Shark Speedway is a perfect brain bucket to keep your melon as safe as possible. We carry every model and size of Hans device, and these have saved countless lives. The Hybrid Pro Lite is an alternative to the Hans device and is just as effective. The DNA 3-layer suit offers maximum protection when things get hot. And hey dude, those comfy shoes won't help one bit when things go south. Keep those hands ready to work with a pair of Vortex FIA gloves meeting every current standard. From 5 to 7 points, we carry every one of the Simpson harnesses, keeping your rear end right where it should be. Keep all your gear clean and together with the helmet and FHR bag, and always be ready to hop in a race car. Visit 34motorsports.com and order today. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to what promises to be one of the best races of the week on the iRacing platform, the Indy Pro 2000 Championship, coming to you from Phoenix Raceway. Phoenix, as they call it, the legacy version. This is not the new one with the start-finish line just before the middle of the dog leg and reversing the track and everything else. This is the old layout. Start-finish line on the front straightaway. This is going to be a spectacular race coming up here. My name is Chris Graham with the National Racing Network. It is a pleasure to have you joining us here. An absolutely monster field being led by Andrew Berry. He's working on 8 consecutive wins this week. But let me tell you, he is going to have a big-time field he is going to have to contend with here as we get the qualifying results here up on the screen for you, so you'll see the laps right as they come in. Drivers talking tonight big time about the weather. Let's tell you about the weather conditions presented by our friends at the Weather Center. Oh, man, this is going to be fun. 68-degree ambient temperature. Winds going to be out of, we'll call it the east, at 5 miles an hour. Only 68 degrees for the track temperature. The lower it gets, the grippier this place is going to be, and we have the potential for a monster pack race here at the front of the field. This one is going to be wild here this evening. Ted Burns going quickest lap time overall to 25.358 seconds. 25.358 for Ted Burns. Mike Collar going to be second quick, dropping Andrew Berry back to third. Kylo Ciacelli, Kevin Smalley, your top five right now. New quick time, Everett Paddock. Andrew Berry goes faster, 25.244. 25.244 seconds. Pick up Everett Paddock. He's currently running second in the point standings tonight, just 31 points back of Ted Burns. Ted Burns finishing his run sixth quick. What's Everett going to do on lap number 2? He's going to be fourth quick. How about Wes Shire to the top of the speed charts? 25.165, 25.165 seconds for Wes Shire. David Porcelli making his way down the back straightaway on lap number 2. Good Lord, this is already intense with some of the laps that these drivers are putting up. Jason Owens' first lap on the board. Not very quick here. Going to be 13th quick. He'll only be 6th quick. Porcelli jumps up to 6th on the speed charts. A familiar face to those of you who watch the Grid Rival Ezra IndyCar Series races, Matt Wagner, going to be in this one here this evening. Oh, and he's going to loop it around right as we put him up here. Oh, look at this. I forgot we have guests here tonight. Good Lord.
Yes. Hi. The
Chris.
same people
Wow.
that commentate with you every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
I know.
Thank you,
God, what an
Chris.
idiot.
That's nice.
James Watson, Sebastian Kinder joining me in the booth. Holy crap, guys. This has been intense so far.
Oh, yeah. and Having fun watching it, or attempting to.
Yes.
Anyway.
Now that we have the feed up for you so you can see what the heck is going on. What do you think we're going to see here, James? Let's start with you. This has the potential to really be a pretty incredible run here. Oh, is Chris Preston going to back it into the turn 4 wall?
Oh, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's going to be... It's fitting that we're in the Wild West because it's going to be a Wild West shootout, which means we're just going to hear nothing but... Yes, I had to do that again.
Oh, my God.
I'm glad I
The fact that we got harmony in a French accent was even worse. Seb, you've run these races. What are the drivers thinking right now? This is ordinarily you run these races and the fields are pretty good. We're running this race tonight, and it is a monster field that they're going to be competing against here.
First thing off, don't wreck in the first few laps because the track is so cold, and with the cold tires, as we saw with those guys earlier, you can easily wreck out in the first few turns because you just overestimate your car and just rear steps out like this. And with such a stacked field, man, this is going to be fun pack racing. I've seen a lot of races this week, and just hold on to your 6, folks, because it's going to be nice.
Yeah, this one is going to be a ton of fun. Let's bring you the starting grid here tonight and take a look for that quarter of a second mark that we like to look for. Wes Shire winning pole tonight by 79 thousandths over Andrew Berry. Mike Holler, Everett Paddock will occupy row number 2. John Bedifer and Frank Nguyen on row number 3. David Porcelli, Jason Owens on row 4. Ted Burns and Kevin Smalley round out the top 10. And there's that quarter of a second mark. Back to Zach Evans in the 11th position here this evening. Simon Fell will line up to his outside of row number 6. Row 7, Matt Wagner and Kylo Ciacelli. Row number 8, Nagisi Yoshikawa and Chris Preston. Stephen Thompson, Jeff Pete on row number 9. And that's going to round out the field. 18 cars, 36 across the entry list here tonight. Matt Wagner already checking in the comments here in between climbing into the race car. Saying, commentator's curse. Gee, thanks. Anytime, Matt. We are here to help.
What a nerd.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, my goodness. Getting ready for a 55-lap race here at Phoenix Raceway this evening. This one is going to be a ton of fun. Strap in, hold on tight. We are going for a Wild West ride. Field going to make their way out of turn number 4. And as always, race fans, the start of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship is going to be all yours. Lap number 1 going to go in the books, and it will belong to Andrew Berry. Wes Shire going to fall right back in line. Everett Paddock getting around Mike Holler, but here comes Paddock back up to the inside. Holler trying to make that outside lane work. I'll tell you what, James, with the track temperature as low as it is, we could see 2 realistic lines working all the way around this place.
Oh, this is a glorified pack race right now. You can do amazing things with this car around this track with such a, already. Whoa, no caution?
Yeah, Kylo Ciacelli, Matt Wagner having an issue here. Back in the pack. I don't even know that we're going to be able to get that one on replay for you either here. Both drivers hitting pit lane.
Anyways, as I was saying, it's going to be a pack race with how cold these temperatures are. You can do crazy things around this track. We're going to see a huge slugfest for the lead with a bunch of different players.
Right now, it's Andrew Berry opening up about we'll call it a third of a second over Wes Shire. Wes has about a half second back to this battle with Mike Holler. Everett Paddock, John Betafer going to be right there as well. This is really, Seb, what these two guys at the front want to see. Let everybody behind you keep fighting and slicing and dicing, and you're kind of able to just run your laps and run away.
Yeah, as a driver, when I'm in the situation at the back, I'm just like, come on, please stop fighting. We need to get back to the guys in front, or else we'll lose the draft. And this is what is happening with Mikey, Everett, and Betafer. Now they're 7 tenths behind West, so this is pretty bad for them already. But if they start to fight at front, well, they can catch back.
Yeah, all it takes is side-by-side battling for just a couple of laps, and it's enough to kill your draft. It's infuriating.
Well, and Wes Shire getting a little bit close here to Andrew Berry at the front of the field as well. The gap is now 1 second back to Mike Holler in third. Shire holding in right about a tenth of a second back. I was going to say there's not a ton of incentive for West to run a different line here, but ultimately, I guess if you want to set the pace, you got to be out front.
Right now, Wes is 100% content to just stay right there. Let them pull away from all the chaos behind, make it to just, it's the two of them. You know, we've seen it time and time again on the road courses.
Mike Holler having a look inside of John Betafer, who went 2 for 1 in turn 1 the last time around. David Porcelli's up there. Everett Paddock now falling back to the 6th position. Ted Burns, Jason Owens going to be in that pack as well.
It is way too chaotic to actually get organized and come back on the front. Like, they're already 1.4 seconds back to the two leaders. James, they completely checked out. I mean, I don't know if you saw this in the races, but for what I did, I never saw that. Having two guys just were out.
Yep. I saw a decent bit of that in my races this week. Also, to go back, I wonder, because Kylo and Wagner got back on the track pretty quickly after that, part of me was wondering if they just forgot to put the race set on.
I very well could be. Both of them are on the racetrack here. Not yet a lap down. Or actually, yes, they are. Yep, 1 lap down for each of those drivers. But not that far behind either in terms of where they are on the racetrack. So kind of expected you would take full service, and that full load of fuel is going to cost you about a lap.
Yep.
that is what sounds like it because, yeah, I didn't record any contact there, so.
Ted Burns and Mike Holler battling side by side. Here comes the move a little bit further up. This is going to be David Porcelli trying to get inside of John Bedifer. Right back to side by side. Here comes Jason Owens, 3 wide into turn 1.
Oh, but you knew he was going to do it. Oh, you knew that was coming.
Wow, what a pass. Oh, and Everett Paddock's going to try to get up the middle.
Oh,
They're still 3 wide heading into turn number 3. My goodness.
Number of pancakes.
Oh, man. You run so many risks with netcode getting in the middle of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't try it.
wow. JO8, you are a madman.
I thought it was JO11.
No, JO11's a lot more calmer.
And while this pack continues to fight, how about the lead being up to now 2 1/4 seconds for Andrew Berry and West Shire? This has a lot of the hallmarks of the race we saw at Gateway last season, where you knew it was going to be a pack race, you knew you were going to get a fairly late race caution, and it really was about the 2 leaders just trying to kind of save tires to be ready to go late in that run.
Precisely. Yeah, honestly, at this point, this pack may need a caution if they're going to get back up to the lead. Even if they just go to a completely organized single file line, I don't think that'll be enough to get them.
I'm almost surprised a little bit that we're not seeing Andrew Berry and West Shire engage in some of the swap drafting that we've seen become prevalent here. We saw it at Spa, where you could really make a ton of time that way by strategically swapping the lead back and forth.
I don't know if that would necessarily work as well here, because the ease about swap drafting is the natural speed and momentum just kind of carries you by easily on the bigger tracks like Gateway. This really isn't long enough to be able to do that. You have to have some give and take from the car you're passing, and at that point, it kind of defeats the purpose.
John Bedifer may have gotten a piece of the outside retaining wall on the exit of turn number 4 last lap. Outside of the car looks okay. He was definitely up high against that wall on corner exit, though. That lead is now over 3 seconds between Andrew Berry and West Shire. Back to this pack of cars. This is absolute. We're to the point now where they have to have a caution. And the problem is nobody else is really running in a pack. You want to see the caution, but you don't want to be the caution.
Yeah, and at this rate, if there's going to be a caution, they are going to be a caution. Look at this. Look at this. What a track like Phoenix of all places. Like, this is insane.
Well, it's Indy Pro 2000, James. It's always insane.
Oh, yeah.
We
need to make that the series slogan.
Every oval we go to, it seems like we have more insanity. And quite frankly, last week... Oh, there's one car up into the outside wall. Trouble for John Bedifer. He spins it around, gets into the outside safer barrier in turn number 1. And that car is junked. It will have to take the tow. Battling with David Porcelli down the front straightaway. Little bit of contact. I'm not sure if that was left side leveling from Bedifer or right side Romance, but one way or the other, that left rear wheel is junk, and that car will not be going anywhere. Tough break for John Bedifer. And a worse break for Andrew Berry and West Shire, quite frankly.
Yeah, that's the last thing those two wanted to, because now you have Porcelli, Teddy B, Everett, and good old J07 right behind them. Oh.
See if we can get another look at this here into turn 1.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
That may have been some netcode.
That's what it looked like on my end.
Ooh. And Mike Holler, the only guy who comes into the pits, he actually got fooled by a JO, whatever number it is.
Yes, Jason Owens. We'll just say it that way. Jason has two accounts, as a lot of iRacers do. He has one account that he runs primarily for the strength of field races in the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. And then he has another account that he kind of runs everything else with. I'm interested to see here Mike Holler coming down pit road, putting fresh tires on right about the halfway point. If this packs up, Mike's really in not that big of trouble.
He is not, but it's really hard to pass. That's kind of the main reason why they're in such a big pack. It's just hard to pass here. You kind of either need a setup that's really good on the inside, or you need to get on their outside. So it's a good risk for Mike, but it's hard to say if it's really going to work out.
Well, you know what? Looking at the numbers here, he's really only going to lose 6 spots maybe. I would say maybe try the gamble for fresh tires, especially if you know that the race leaders have not been battling. They've sort of been in a tire conservation mode at this point. So not only are they the 2 fastest cars in the field, but maybe a little bit of equipment saving going on for Andrew Berry and Wes Shire as well. I have to say a huge thank you to everybody tuned in here on YouTube and on Twitch. Absolutely pretty good numbers here tonight, so thank you very much. Give us a shout in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. If you're enjoying the video, give it a like and a share. We appreciate it. That's the best you can do. If you want to support us in a little bit more personal way, you can do that through Super Chats and memberships and Venmo, PayPal at National Racing Network. Don't feel overly inclined to do that, though. If you want to, we don't complain about getting money, but we're going to keep putting this out here for free for you guys.
Now, so, James, as a driver, you saw what the front 2 were capable of. What would be your game plan to keep up with those guys, or try to disrupt this pace?
Try to stay with them. You know, hopefully your set can follow in the dirty air so that you can keep with them and try to see if you can sneak around the outside. That's going to be your best way to get by them. The outside line is just so OP around here.
Oh, man, this one's going to be wild. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing, just a couple of laps shy of the halfway point. Andrew Berry leading Wes Shire, David Porcelli, Ted Burns, and Everett Paddock as your top 5. That's going to be a good restart across the whole front of the field. Shire not letting Berry get away, but Porcelli and Burns going to be right there as well as they head back towards turn 1. Burns already making the move down to the inside of Porcelli into 3. Shire going to have to throw a little bit of a block there.
Ooh.
Oh, he gets it done. What a move.
Wow, nice pass. Slides all the way up to the outside retaining wall. Kind of takes the air off the front of the Porcelli.
Isn't that almost effortless? That is hugely impressive.
Now, how much of is dirty air an issue here for these drivers the longer we go?
It's not as bad as other tracks we go to, but it's definitely noticeable and it definitely disrupts you. That's why it's a lot easier to pull off a pass like that around here, but it's still difficult and it's still wildly impressive when you can see Teddy pull it off with such ease.
John Beta for having to use one of the championship season drop weeks here this week, following an 18th place finish here this evening. Ted Burns and Everett Paddock, the two guys contending for the championship right now, running 3rd and 5th on the racetrack. And here comes Paddock having a look inside of Porcelli down the front straightaway. Paddock just set the fastest lap of the race, 25.140 seconds. They're not letting Andrew Berry get away here. This is what I would have figured, that we may have seen this battling allow Berry to open up the gap. It's not huge right now, not like we saw in the early stages of the race.
No, they're going to need to battle a little harder. If that battle between Porcelli and Burns had been probably another 2 more laps, they probably would have started to check out again.
Jason Owens going quickest lap at a 25.124. To update Mike Holler, no improvement. He continues to run in the 13th position.
They're still side by side. How many laps have they been side by side? 3, 2?
The iRacing spotter just going, still outside, still outside, still outside.
Still there.
Wes Shire going fastest lap last time by at a 25.090. Monster lap out of Wes Shire. 25.085 out of Jason Owens this time by. They're putting some heaters down now. It's, I guess, because you're kind of running single file. We haven't gotten to the point of the race yet where you have to make the move. Wes Shire's really not going to try this pass until he has to.
Nope, give it about another 10-15 laps, then we're going to see everyone lose their minds.
The good old breaking point.
Slide a little bit further back in the field here. Pick up the second pack of cars in line. They are running about 2 seconds behind Frank Nguyen. The top 7 all nose to tail. This is Simon Fell, Kevin Smalley, Chris Preston, Nagisi Yoshikawa, and Zach Evans. They're all running together, but they are not making up time on the race leader.
And this is why, if you're Mike Holler, this is why pitting was really a bad idea, because some stuff like this can happen where suddenly you have 2 groups and they're getting far from each other. Tough luck for him.
Ted Burns having a peek inside of Wes Shire into turn number 1. Now, these drivers obviously run with each other every week. They know these cars and each other pretty well inside and out. I would imagine that gives you a lot of confidence to know that somebody's not going to make the complete, like, moron dive bomb move into the corner. Oh, but Shire gets it up wide. Big moment for Wes Shire off at turn 2. He's going to lose 3 spots and fall back to 5th.
But yeah, going back to your earlier point, Jason Owens is not going to attempt a 3-wide move if he's attempting it on some randos that he's never been in. He knows that he can do it and trusts the guys around him to not have it end in mass death depression.
Good Lord, we're only 21 minutes into this race, and we've got a challenge for the lead. Ted Burns down to the inside into 1. Barry's been quick all week, but what a move by Ted Burns. And he's going to have the help from Everett Paddock. We may run 2x2 here across the front of the field. Barry tried to get down to the inside in front of Paddock. Not close enough. Here comes Porcelli to the outside.
Look at this for Shire. He did the mistake, but now he must be rubbing his hands. Just like, good, keep fighting.
Oh, there's contact! Wow, what a save by Ted Burns!
Oh!
iRacing top 10 nominee. Good Lord. Oh, and Shire's into the wall. Big contact back in the pack. Jason Owens going to be involved in that one. Everett Paddock is involved. Frank Nguyen also involved. Oh, man, and that changes everything in this race. Lap 41 of 55. We are going to come back to green with about 5 laps to go.
Oh, that is...
Take
that
a look.
is,
West Shire
really
bounced it off the
unfortunate.
outside wall. Everett Paddock, big time going to be involved, as is Frank Nguyen.
Wow.
Let's take a look and go on board here with Frank Nguyen.
He had nowhere to go. He had
Just
nowhere to
went
go. No, that is the worst kind of crash on ovals. You have nowhere to go, and yeah.
Oh,
Especially
man.
when you're just that close to sneaking by and it just clips you and kills you.
And Everett Paddock is still on the racetrack. Now he's going to
There
come
it is.
down pit road.
Yeah,
I would imagine there's probably a meatball there somewhere for Everett Paddock.
And what surprises me is that West, despite hitting the wall, is staying on the track.
Yeah,
Well,
great point there. West Shire bounced. He hit that outside wall hard.
In an earlier race, Percelli bounced it off a couple of times, and somehow his car was not worse for the wear at all.
You know what? Maybe he didn't hit it that hard.
No, it looks like he hit it square and fairly softly. Like, I watched the suspension. I didn't see it buckle or move an inch. I think Wes might have gotten away with that scot-free.
Well, he did win a championship in the TNT Special Events Series that way, or win a race in the TNT Special Events that way. Is he going to go 2 for 2 on that one here? Man, that was intense.
Should we interview him real quick?
No, we'll leave him alone for now. Maybe get him at the end of the race. We'll see. I would imagine his heart rate is probably at several hundred beats per minute at this point. Man, this race has been every bit as intense as we had hoped to see. And now this may become a drop week even for Everett Paddock. He's only in 11th position after taking the repairs in the pits. The problem is Ted Burns is running this race up at the front of the field.
Yeah, we're going to see how good of a hot rod Andrew has to see if he can get by him again.
So checking in the comments, we have Nietzsche Camargo. He says he's watching from Brazil. Howdy, buddy.
Yes.
And Keto once says he was rooting for Owens from Illinois, and then the crash happens is like, oh, come on, which
Yes.
was Jason's reaction in the voice chat.
Yeah, there you go. Got the comments chiming in here on YouTube. Thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate you checking in and hanging out with us here. Hopefully you are enjoying the show. I know we are. I'll say it that way. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car. And by the way, 3 absolutely epic racetracks coming up here, 2 of which you'll be familiar with, and 1 you're going to go, huh? The Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit coming up next Thursday night. Then we head off to Sebring to run the international course where we saw one of the best finishes of the year last season in the PM18s. And then we head off to Summit Point Raceway, a bull ring, tight, narrow road course that is going to be an absolute blast to watch these cars on. I know, yeah, we closed the month of January with a trip to Richmond. I'm game.
Here we
Gonna
go. 10-lap shootout.
10.
Shit, here we go again.
10 to go. What the hey? Let's do it one more. Y'all go ahead and crank it up. Oh, trouble! Trouble for the race leader! Hard into the outside wall! Ted Burns is upside down on the back straightaway, and Andrew Berry is connected in with him. My goodness. We thought that changed everything. How about we do it again? Yellow flag is out.
Oh, my jaw is on the floor.
Cold
Oh,
tires.
man, that was a huge hit for Berry, too. I can't imagine that he is going to not have the meatball.
Wow.
Yeah, you can see the front wing is gone on the front of Andrew Berry's car. Take a look here at the replay again. See what happened. Yeah, car just stepped out. Cold tires and hard into the outside, save for Barry, into the catch fence even, after getting drilled by Andrew Berry. Oh, man, it takes all those championship questions square out of play as Andrew Berry going to head down pit road. Now who's your pick? David Porcelli has been good, but I wouldn't say he's had the fastest car here by any stretch. Wes Shire's already bounced the thing off the outside wall. And how about Simon Feld, Nagisi Yoshikawa, Kevin Smalley, Chris Preston? We've got 3 cars up 10 spots or more. Simon Feld, well, Simon's up 9. Nagisi Yoshikawa up 11. Chris Preston up 10. Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely fantastic. So many new players that we're not used to seeing up here have a chance to bring home an SOF win. This is amazing.
Matt Galida checking in saying, great broadcast from Chris and James. Seb, I guess we just don't care. King Chin checking in saying, championship implications. Everybody needs to drink. Championship implications.
Aggressive around goes Ted Burns. Caution is out.
Jason Owens is not having a good night here. The comment, man, I am so bummed tonight.
Yeah.
Understandable.
This has been... We were told to expect wild. And I'm thinking kind of gateway, interesting wildness. This is Twilight Zone kind of crap going on here tonight. Seeing Bree Toronto checking in. Holy crap, that was terrifying. Go David Porcelli. Yes. Man, this has been... Wow. And lights are out. We had a 10-lap shootout. How about a 5?
Dear God.
David Porcelli going to be the race leader over Wes Shire, Simon Feld, Nagisa Yoshikawa, and Kevin Smalley, the top 5. Chris Preston, Zach Evans, Mike Collar, Everett Paddock, Stephen Thompson, the top 10. Jeff Pete and Andrew Berry both remain on the lead lap. It's going to take some really weird stuff happening, though, at the front of the field here.
I mean, we've seen enough so far. I wouldn't put it...
That's true. I mean,
past.
we could wad everybody up here coming through 3 and 4. Let us know in the comments, who's your pick? This one's going to be fun. Green flag back in the air. Colton Hurtis start here at the front of the field. That may not have been the ticket for Porcelli. He's going to lead into turn 1. Yoshikawa and Fell side by side. If you're West Shire, you've got to make the move quick here, too, because a caution flag will likely end this race under yellow.
Absolutely.
Oh, man, did West get the outside wall again? He lost a couple of car lengths off at turn number 4. Shire gets a great run into turn number 1.
What a big risk with that apron.
He's got
He
the
does.
draft. Now, where does he make the move? And they're bottled up. They're 2 and 3 wide back behind them. But at this point, the battle's for the race win. We're going to stay right up here at the front as we are down to 2 laps to go. Oh, man, one car getting way wide. That was Simon Fell, losing a couple of spots there to Kevin Smalley.
So they went on the apron and he had a huge time. Here he comes.
Here's Shire looking to the outside of Porcelli. He's going to try the crossover. Porcelli blocks the line off. White flag is out, 1 to go here at Phoenix. Shire right back to the outside into turn number 1. Porcelli right down, almost onto the apron. Forces Shire up towards the outside wall. Oh, they almost made contact again. Porcelli tries to slide West Shire high. Here comes Nagisi Yoshikawa.
Oh shit, he got it.
Off at turn number 4 for the final time. Shire right in line. Drag race. David Porcelli gets the win at Phoenix.
Insane.
West Shire, Nagisi Yoshikawa will round out your podium. Kevin Smalley, Simon Fell complete the top 5. Oh my goodness.
And Andrew Berry still managed to come home 6.
Yes, there was a Jason Owens putting in the comments, stranger things have happened. I'd put 10 on Berry getting 6th or better here. Yeah, and he did.
Oh, Well, someone has to give him $10 then. Not going to be me,
man. What a finish. And a killer run for Nagisi Yoshikawa on that final lap. I almost thought he was going to have that timed out to absolute perfection. Let's show you the race results here before we get ready for the Victory Lane interviews. David Porcelli, West Shire, Nagisi Yoshikawa are your podium finishers tonight. Kevin Smalley, Simon Fell complete the top 5. Andrew Berry, Zach Evans, Mike Collar, Chris Preston, Stephen Thompson rounding out the top 10. Everett Paddock and Jeff Pete, the final cars that finish on the lead lap here this evening. Matt Wagner finishing 1 lap down in 13th. Ted Burns 4 laps down in 14th. Frank Nguyen and Jason Owens both going to be 15 laps down in 15th and 16th respectively. Kylo Ciacelli and John Betafer will round out the field here this evening. And I tell you what, we kind of joke about championship implications, but the reality is there are none. This almost becomes a drop week. Now, there are other SOF races. It's not like the Silver Crowns and the Sprints and some of the others that we air, that you really only have one big race every week. There's another race tomorrow afternoon that's the European time slot strength of field. And there's quite a few that have gone big this week. So this may just be a drop week in general for everybody, but holy cow, what a race we had here this evening. We're going to bring, it looks like we have at least have Nagisi Yoshikawa available to talk to us here. Hopefully we can get, we have West Shire that we can talk to as well. And here comes our race winner this evening. So we'll get the instant replay queued up here and start things with our third place finisher here tonight, Mr. Nagisi Yoshikawa. Oh my goodness, man. What a run in that final lap, but you gained 12 spots over the course of the race. I know the attrition helped, but tell us how you got to the front.
I don't even know. I was 17th at the end of lap 1. It was just insane race. I could really get the outside working super well, so I got like 3 or 4 passes done that way, but it's just staying out of trouble, and setup was super good in those track temps. Yeah, so happy.
That was one of the things we heard going into the race, was that the setup was going to be very track temperature dependent, and it seemed like a lot of the drivers had setups even for 1 or 2 degree changes. Is that something that you were working with, or were you more kind of on the altered from baseline type sets?
No, I was kind of running little bit of a modified version of an old set I ran, but I ran 2 races earlier in the week, and when I was in the pack, I was getting big understeer. But for some reason, this race really hooked up, and I could really make places and stayed out of all the trouble, and here I am.
So now, final question onto that last lap. You saw the two leaders kind of getting a little handsy with each other. Were you thinking, I mean, especially we're seeing it now on screen, that dive into turn number 3 was about as close as you were going to get to the race win there. Were you needing a little help from them, or what were you thinking there on that last lap?
I was hoping they would slow each other up and I could maybe follow. If Wes went to the inside, I was going to try and go around the outside because that was working really well for me. But I couldn't get to the outside, and I knew the inside wasn't the best out of 3 and 4, but figured I'd try, might as well. But yeah, I'm just glad I got third.
Well, man, what a fantastic run tonight, Nagisa. Thank you very much for checking in with us here, and let's make sure we get any of your sponsor plugs and thank yous in before we let you go.
Yep, thanks to Premier, everyone helping me out with the sets, James, obviously, and everyone else for testing them and running them. I'm glad we finally got a really good finish with them, and all the other drivers keeping it clean, and yeah, thanks to everyone.
All right, Nagisa, thank you very much. We appreciate the time here, and let's bring in our runner-up tonight, Mr. Wes Shire, and I'll tell you what, Wes, you started second, ran second, ho-hum, kind of a boring race for you there, right?
Yeah, definitely no, multiple contacts and 3 wide situations and just mass insanity. None of that. Very, very just bog standard typical race.
Yes, about as boring as you can get. We're seeing the run here on the white flag. It seemed like David did a really, really good job of keeping his car in just the right spots there over those last couple of laps that you couldn't really make the outside or inside be fully effective. You could get the car there, but it just didn't have enough to it.
Yeah, I needed him about half a lane lower, and I think I would have had him on the last lap, particularly in 1. But, man, like I really, really thought I was going to get that. That was a lot of fun.
Tell us what you saw out of the big one that happened at right about, I guess, the midpoint of the race here. We saw that you made the contact with the outside wall. It looked just like the car pushed on corner exit. But the reality is that what we see and what you were feeling in the cockpit may have been 2 really different things.
Yeah, so it looked like Andrew had a really big run on a bunch of people, had to kind of check up, which caused, I'm not sure if it was netcode or actual contact between him and Everett. And I think Everett picked up a little bit of front wing damage, just enough to cause him to push up. So when I took the run around him in 4, I just like, I see him coming up. I'm gonna get as close as I can to the wall, and just a little bit of contact with both him and the wall. I think my car got out okay. But yeah, it was. Once I made contact with the wall, it's like, okay, just try and keep it straight, and I guess chaos evolved behind me.
I will tell you what, man, that was an absolutely fantastic race. The car looks good as always. Make sure you get all the appropriate plugs and thank yous in here before we let you go as well.
Yeah, as always, got to thank you for doing the broadcast, and got to thank CMs for organizing this whole Thursday night event here, and man, of course, got to thank Homestead Coffee keeping me awake and alert enough to actually drive this. That race was insane, and I'm glad I had some coffee beforehand. New winter roast is out, plus there's a micro lot from Nicaragua that's really good, or so I hear. That's on the next order. And of course, shout out to my other self, youtube.com/Tales from Rukon, Friday night, 7:30 p.m. I think actually this week we're doing Sunday at 6:30. Had a little scheduling conflict, but yeah, a little live D&D. It's a lot of fun.
All right, Wes, well, thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us here, and let's get our race winner in here tonight now. My goodness, David Porcelli, at least second win this season. Let me see. Actually, the first win this season in the PM18s.
That's correct. And actually my first Oval broadcast win ever.
Well, there you go. I'm glad we had it, because that race was absolutely insane. I want to start by going back to the incident with Andrew and Ted. When Ted spun off at turn number 2.
Oh, yeah.
What were
do
you
you have a lap
thinking?
number for me there?
Actually, yeah, we could. Let me see. Yeah, lap 46. That was when well, quite frankly, stuff got wild in front of you here. We're going to bring up the replay on this one because the race leaders were wadding it up basically in front of you. What's your thought process there when you see 2 cars wrecking and you know that you're going to have the lead with a handful to go here?
Oh, I mean, part of it's a prayer to make sure, to hope that the person behind you sees that that's happening as well. It's the exit of turn 2. Everyone's going to be excited to get side by side into 3 and 4, maybe make up some positions on the caution. So props to Wes there being quick on the reaction time. And for me, I saw that in John's loop, he hit, it wasn't John, it was Ted. In John's loop, he hadn't managed to change the trajectory of the car and went straight for the wall. And I saw Andrew getting ready to stuff it as well. So I cut as far left as I was willing to. You never know if there's a car inside. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't chopping someone down. And actually looking at the replay here, there was a car inside. So I got quite lucky. It was just a matter of seeing where the spinning car was going and making sure that I was not in that same exact trajectory. And there was so many times throughout that race. Actually, it was every caution. I think I was just moments away from my race ending. So, yeah.
You had some adventures, that's for sure. And we asked Wes this same question, and I'm going to kind of flip it around for you a little bit. But it seemed like over those last couple of laps, you were able to make your car be exactly where it needed to be. Wes's car was good. He was able to find a spot, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. You really had the car placed well over those last couple of laps.
Yeah, I think this is like, I don't know, this is my weakness and my strength here. Because I'm mostly a road racer, like that's where all my experience comes from. I'm always focusing on getting the front end to bite very early in the corner, and I actually think that's why I had my contact with John. I think I turn in later than he expected, and since he had the lead, I think he wanted me to pinch a little bit further down early in the corner. But it's in my nature to run a little bit wider on entry, and I think that really helped me in those last few laps there. Wes would, if he wanted to, he could send it up the inside, but I would just have him on exit. And so I didn't feel like I needed to really turn in on him, and was just focused on keeping my straight line speed, straightaway speed maximized so that I could defend that position.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was an absolutely perfect drive over the last couple of laps there. As well executed as I think you can do in sim racing. So congratulations on getting your first oval broadcast win, first win of the 2022 Season 1. What are your thoughts here as we head off into the next few weeks on the schedule? Brands Hatch, Sebring, Summit Point, and then we're right back to Richmond over the next month. That's a lot of variety, as some of which kind of seems to be like it may fit right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, Sebring is one of my favorite tracks, and I actually like Brands Hatch a lot too. They're quite different. There's so much room on Sebring, and Brands Hatch is this narrow track. But I don't know. I tend to do well with courses that are that are unique, that have a lot of different corners. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to both of those tracks. The guys in this series, they really keep it clean, and I had my little incident with John there, but I really think we can put on a good show at Brands Hatch. It's a tough track to do that with. It's hard to be even too wide at that course, so I think everyone's going to have to clean up there, and yeah, I think we'll have a great time in the next few weeks. I'm excited.
Well, the week is not over yet, obviously, but taking a look at the point standings, you've actually leapfrogged over Everett Paddock. You are now second in points and 21 behind Ted Burns for the overall season lead. This is going to be fun here. We've got 3 really good drivers very tight at the front of the field.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Last season was really just so much fun. Everett and I have been neck and neck for 12 weeks now, so that's just been an honor. And he's been a really great competitor. Last week we were at Spa, right? He and I were side by side going into the final chicane. I had the inside line and I outbraked myself and forced him off the track. I gave him the position back before the start-finish line, and he sent me a message after the race, and it's just the camaraderie in this series that's sort of unique among iRacing. Some of the guys were talking about it at the start of the grid, so I'm always looking forward to it.
All right, David. Well, congratulations once again on a huge win here. Let's make sure we get all your sponsor plugs and thank yous in all the names on the side of that car before we let you go.
Yeah, Racecraft 1 Indianapolis. That's it for sponsors. I just want to say hi to my family. Hi, Brianna. Hi, Sander. Hi, Uncle Tio. Thanks for watching. And there you go. You see what happens when you guys watch? Now you're stuck. I need wins. So watch.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, David,
Adorable.
thank you very much. We appreciate it. And, oh, my goodness. Gentlemen, wow. That's all I can say is just wow. We saw everything. Runaway leaders at the beginning, insane battles from 3rd back through 10th, it seemed like. And then all hell broke loose. The leaders were wrecking. It was just... But it wasn't a mess. That was the best part of this. It was just very, very intense for 55 laps.
What if Drive to Survive was actually good? The Indy Pro 2000 can make Drive to Survive good. I mean, the series is just that good. I keep saying this, but the series is so good. The cars is fun to drive. Its race is fun on ovals, on road courses and all that. It's just amazing. We have so many talented drivers in there, and yeah, I would keep saying this. This is one of the best series out there on iRacing.
I would agree with that. And James, looking ahead to the schedule here, we heard David talk a little bit about it. Brands Hatch really has the potential to be pretty darn exciting next week because with a field as tight as this one is, everybody's going to be pretty close, but it is going to be very difficult to pass there.
Yeah, any move you make is going to really test what you got going on. You have to be really decisive because if you mess up just a little bit, it's going to be absolute chaos and not the fun kind.
Well, we are looking forward to it coming back 1 week from tonight, and we're going to prelude that with the return of the Grid Rival Ezra IndyCar Series coming back after a 2-week break. I can't wait to see the IndyCars back here on the National Racing Network. Coming up Monday night, it'll be the Silver Crown Cup Championship, the official strength of field race for the week. Tuesday night, Tear It Up Tuesday, the big blocks versus 358 modifieds on the dirt. Wednesday night, the premiere of the Sim Racers Club Premier Series. That one is going to be absolutely awesome. That is a NASCAR Cup and Xfinity Series, a league that kind of alternates 1 week's Cup, 1 week's Xfinity. Really looking forward to those races coming up here. And then we're right back here for that doubleheader on Thursday night. Good Lord, it is going to be a fun week of iRacing here on the National Racing Network. But with
a good
that,
week to start the year,
Yes. And with that, it is time for us to get out of here. This one has been a ton of fun. Have to say a huge thank you to everybody that makes all of this wonderfulness that is NRN possible. Our real-world racing reporters, Mark Hackett covering the Northeast Modifieds, Ben Carswell on the IndyCar side of things, Alex Gray handling NASCAR coverage for us. Thank you very much. We truly appreciate your hard work. Our Pizza at the Pagoda podcast with that revolving cast of lunatics. the High Side Hustle with Burt Wojcik and Adam Rubright. All the iRacing stuff we do here. I have to say a huge thank you to Connor Baldwin. He's done a lot of the vast majority of our camera design work this season. Absolutely incredible stuff that we get to showcase here. Yes, as the guy who kind of runs the show here, y'all make me look very, very good because I am not all that talented. But with that, we are getting the hell out of here. My partners in crime, James Watson, Sebastian Kinder, you guys have been awesome. James, thank you for an absolutely incredible year working in the booth alongside you. It has truly been a pleasure and an honor for me.
The pleasure is all mine, my friend.
We will see you all next year. I can't believe I'm saying that. For everybody here at NRN, my name's Chris Graham. We'll talk to you all soon. Have a good night and a safe new year, everybody.